my life has kind of dictated where I'm at now. I was originally born in Ivory Coast, Africa, and didn't really have a structured home, a really well upbringing. I stayed in the refugee camps and kind of moved from refugee camps to refugee camp, and ended up here was kind of one of the best things that ever happened to me, I suppose. So, yeah.
And once you got here, Yves, from what I understand, you were a couple of years in a rough situation, but then, from what I understand, you were in foster care. Can you tell us a little bit about foster care and how old you were?
Yeah, I first entered the foster care system at the age of 14, and my, I guess, viewpoint, how I saw things within the foster care system, and being a person who was there firsthand, I kind of got the chance to see things that was going on, and being in foster care was one of those things where you didn't really feel necessarily at home. You didn't really feel like you had a family. You had a place to stay, and it wasn't like you felt like you're going to be there forever. So it kind of put you in a position where you had hope, but yet didn't. You're happy to be in a home, in a healthy relationship where your parents and you can get along somewhat and just have food and kind of be taken care of. But at the same time, it was kind of nerve-wracking thinking that I could be moving on from here anytime. These people are now the people I'm going to be staying with forever. So you never really knew what was going to happen within the next week. You never knew what happened the next day. So it was kind of nerve-wracking and at the same time kind of reassuring to know that you were in a home compared to some kids who are on the streets.
So you were cared for, but you didn't really have a future like most people, is that right? You had hope, but not hope, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of hope, you had a hope social worker, a hope adoption social worker named Yvette. And Yvette worked with Hennepin County, so you were in the Hennepin County foster system. Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the meet and greet or the recruitment events you went to? And what happened when you first found your family?
Yeah, well, first of all, being in foster care, and like I said before, it was kind of a nerve-wracking situation, not knowing that you're going to be there forever. And I got introduced to my social worker, my adoption social worker, who kind of got me interested in looking into adoption and asked me if I wanted to be adopted. I said yes because obviously I wanted my own home and my own family. And because I was on adoption, I kind of got to attend a lot of events for adoption where you met a lot of parents and kind of got to know them a little bit. And actually, where I met my family was at a meet and greet. It was like a craft shop in the basement. That's pretty much what it was. Not really a business place, it was just a house. And we went there, met a lot of people there, and family we kind of had this rotation, goofy rotation around circles, and talked and made shirts and kind of made some artwork. And I remember that day when just in the rotation, I talked to a lot of people. And when I met my family, it was like an instant click. Like I was interested in them right away. But obviously it's not a one-way street. It's kind of has to be both ways. So I was interested in them a lot. I talked to my worker about it. And several days later, she told me, "Well, they're interested in you. So do you want to, go along with the process?" And I told her yes, and kind of got to know my family. And in my household right now, it's kind of interesting because you can even ask my little brothers, and they'll think that I've been in a house forever. It doesn't seem like I've been there for 2 years. It seems like I've been there forever because we just have a bond. We understand each other. Our whole house is just the way it is. It's not like, oh, you're adopted, we're treated different. Our whole house treats each other the same. And I think that's what a lot of kids want. It's not just kids in foster care. There's some kids who are with their biological parents who wants to be in a better situation. But there's a lot of kids out there who want a better home. There's kids on the streets, there's kids still in foster care and still in adoption, hoping that, well, maybe one day I can get the situation that I have, where you can be with a family who you can kind of lead you, can kind of give you that advice, kind of teach you how to do things, kind of way.
So I think you've heard a little bit about the difference that adoption has made in your life. You've hinted at some of that. So any more that you'd like to say about the difference? Because you mentioned something very cool to me before. So adoption has made a great difference, and what is that difference to you?
Well, for me, on a personal level, adoption made a lot of differences based on the fact that I came from Africa to the United States. That was a big difference in itself. And then coming here without a family, being in a situation where I didn't really have a nice upbringing, household with the whole brother and sister and pet situation. For me, the difference that adoption has made would be just me being able to, there's things that I couldn't do before. Things that I didn't know that I could even do, that I wouldn't even attempt until I got adopted. Being adopted kind of gave me that support. My family pushed me to do things that I would never think I could do. Because I got adopted, I got involved in sports, and if I wouldn't have got adopted, I wouldn't be a state champ in high jump. I wouldn't be playing football. Because I have my family, without them I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. They kind of brought me through this whole process. Without them I wouldn't be going to college. And I'm turning 20 this year. Without my family I'd probably be on the street or even in jail or arrested. They brought me this far. A lot of kids need that. And it's just, I had this support. It's like being with my family, I learned more about myself. Since I've been from day one, I've always been a stubborn kid. I've always been, it's kind of a teenager thing, I suppose. But just growing up, it's not the life that I wanted. And now I'm in that situation that I've always dreamed of. And because I'm adopted, I'm learning things about myself that I didn't even know. Things that I didn't think I was capable of. And it goes both ways. I learn about my family and they learn about me all the time. So yeah.
Very cool, isn't it? So,